IVM.
Welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru and I have Baru with me.
What's up, guys?
Kanav.
Hello guys.
The first week of Premier League is done and dusted. And we need to talk about Arsenal versus Man City.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Because I don't know, more than Arsenal fans, I seem to find more positives in that performance than Arsenal fans did.
Well, if we have to go looking for positives, I'm sure, we'll find them.
No, but like the first positive you found was that the pressure of being invincible this season is
now we can just focus on playing our regular games. Otherwise, it's always going to be like, oh, these guys are on track to become the Invincibles again, and done and dusted, out of the way. Let's focus on the real game.
I have some very specific questions. First question.
No, but the biggest positive is that, City is a game every team is going to be afraid of.
Yes.
So we have gotten one away. So anyways, us, form starting off is not good.
Mm.
So while the team is still gelling, we've gotten City out of the way.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
All right. The first question then to Baru is that guy's name Gundozi or Ganduzi?
It's Guendouzi. But you can call him whatever you want.
What do you mean?
You can shorten it.
How does he call himself?
Me.
Yeah. How do you call yourself?
But I know how my name is pronounced, right? So how does he pronounce
it?
Matt.
He's Bob. Yeah. Bob. Yeah, Matt.
Alright, so how was his performance? He was alright.
Oh, he was brilliant for a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
This was probably the biggest stage he's ever played on.
Yeah, so no, he wasn't brilliant as such, but yeah, he was.
For
at least he was not hiding. So he made, I think, 3-4 big mistakes, especially the one which Aguero went through. One goal.
Yeah, and that was something I've replicated quite a few times in Sunday football. So I know it's really hard.
What did you replicate? What Gundozi did? Or
going for the ball and the ball bouncing right over you.
But then I think he's like a couple of feet taller than you.
Why did Unai Emery start him ahead of?
I think because he played every match in the preseason. He had a good preseason also.
Yeah.
And Torreira had just played one game and he came back late because of Uruguay and the post-World Cup rest.
Alright. The other thing which was very surprising, or more like, is when Petr Cech was being interviewed in post-match and they asked him, the manager wants you to play off the back and how are you enjoying this challenge? He said, yeah, I'm enjoying it and it's something good. But then, if you look at the match...
We saw him pass the ball right into his own goal, man.
That would have been the worst goal in Premier League history, man.
Seriously. Man. I've seen someone do this before, not in Premier League, but it has happened.
But not from that angle.
No, from that angle. It was there. We'll probably share it later on our Twitter timeline.
Did you see Petr Cech's reaction after that ball went past the goal? He was like, what have I done?
No, but the thing that you have to consider is...
Oh, there is an excuse for it, is there?
No, there's not an excuse, but Petr Cech, when he started his career, football was played a very different way. He's 35, 36 now.
Yeah.
For a keeper to... And now the game has changed where a keeper is supposed to play out from the back, be good with his feet, which is why you see Alisson, going for such huge prizes. Edison, all of these keepers. But Petr Cech is not that mold of a keeper. But now because of the time he's supposed to change, that is obviously going to be difficult.
As Bayer Leverkusen very eloquently put it on their Twitter, there is a keeper of that mold.
That was the bigger concern for me, that you buy a new keeper when your keeper had obviously faults in the last season and you still don't start him.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be even more embarrassing for Cech now, he got benched after being in the first team. If the other guy, if Leno had started the season as the first team keeper, it would have been like, this was expected.
New keeper, yeah.
See, one thing you need to
I'm just thinking of all those English headlines now.
Yeah, but one thing you need to realize is Mourinho has already done all the embarrassing things he could do to Petr Cech, right? He's already benched him when Courtois came. So what would Unai Emery do more?
What he just did right now.
Make him play.
Yeah, and then bench him.
Oh. But did you see the last shot, almost the last kick of the game, which went to the corner, and the corner wasn't allowed because time was up? Petr Cech made a save. I didn't even know that. Was that ball going on the goal?
It was. And Petr Cech made 4 or 5 good saves. The one from Aguero and then a couple of other ones. The one from that corner from Laporte on the follow-up. From Mahrez's free kick. So he had a good game apart from his distribution, obviously.
Yeah, reflexes, 6-7 yards out, that shot which you're talking about.
Yeah, and one more thing about Arsenal is Lacazette. He was so good from when he came on.
No, but then he was, I think, him and Ozil had 2 moments of proper brain freeze.
Yeah.
Where they had good chances.
And Lacazette was looking down the left flank, his left, with his back towards the goal. and then he moves towards the center of the pitch, his vision that is, and you can see like that guy would have been in his line of sight, right?
Yes.
He would have noticed that guy is offside, but again, as Kumar said, brain freeze.
So all in all, what do Arsenal fans make of the first game?
It's a new season, new manager. You expect their...
No, I didn't. Look, I obviously thought they will lose, like most of us did. Exactly. But then if you look at, I think Twitter is such a bad tool.
It is, obviously. So it was a good performance in terms that, there was one stat which came out that, Arsenal as a team, the distance they covered was 118 kilometers, which was more than any other team in for the opening weekend, which is very uncharacteristic for Arsenal. So the pressing you could see in the first half, everyone was
second half
pressing.
More at least, yeah.
Yeah, second half we had more of the ball. First half when we didn't have the ball, there was a lot of pressing, which was not there in Wenger's time.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, those moments of brain freeze, and even the goals they scored, it was basically a defensive error. Yeah, which was very characteristic of Arsenal's time.
Where was Arsene Wenger watching this game from?
I don't know, probably BN Sports.
Probably would have put on a makeup or a disguise and snuck in behind Emery.
Oh God.
Or was he Emery? Oh man. Because defensively I don't see any improvement. I mean, Socrates, have you noticed how in every stock image of the 2 goals, Socrates is in the background looking stunned and like, what's happening?
I mean, that man is slow.
And he has this Gerard Butler thing going on.
Lichtsteiner had a really good game.
Yeah.
What a passionate player, man. That guy, he's just ready to beat up anyone.
He was playing on the wrong flank.
Wow.
For a second I thought...
Look at you guys. Like Diego Costa was a bad one, but now because Lichtsteiner beats up anyone.
Where did Diego Costa come from?
Let's
just focus on Lichtsteiner.
Beaten up anyone yet.
Because there was this...
He has. What do you mean? He's
that
was the preseason. That doesn't
in
count.
the English Premier League. Yeah. There was this one moment in the match where the ball goes out. This is, I think, after the 70th or the 80th minute. And the ball boy wasn't like giving it quickly. He was like just gesticulating all over the place. I thought, ye to gaya. This ball boy is going to get beaten up so badly.
Yeah, that was... So, the next game of Arsenal is against Chelsea. We'll talk about it in our fantasy football show. But let's talk about the champions, Manchester City. They start off again with an easy win.
You have to, see how good they were. That their, 3 key midfielders from last season were not even in the squad. KDB was not playing, Silva was not playing, Sane was not playing.
Yes.
And you look at the replacements coming in, you have Mahrez. Mahrez had a really, really good game in the first half.
Yeah.
I think he tormented Maitland-Niles.
But Maitland-Niles is a kid, so...
Yeah, but still. And then Bernardo scored a goal. And look at the options this man has.
Speaking of options, I mean, Arsenal doesn't have any. I mean,
yeah,
Kolasinac is out for 8 weeks?
8 to 10 weeks. And Monreal is just back from the World Cup, so he's not match fit. Maitland-Niles is now injured. So I think...
Wait, why is Monreal not match fit?
He took an extended break. He just got back last week.
He didn't even give us his jersey, man.
I know.
That was so rude.
But that's because Kanav didn't wear his Arsenal sweatshirt. That's why.
That opens doors.
Yeah, but I think City, in the performance, they were really, really dominant and they were very composed.
Other than about like a 5-10 minute period in between.
Yeah, the 65 to 70 minute mark.
That was a time, I think for the first time I saw a Guardiola team waste like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
he got Mahrez to take the corner, then did a substitution and got him back. That was...
No, and then, the sub who went in, KDB, he went to take the corner again.
Yeah.
I think something that was evident in yesterday's match, even after all the training, like not all, but whatever training Arsenal has been able to get in, you couldn't like really see the chemistry. There were so many times that Ozil or, someone else in the midfield had the ball, but the forwards were either offside or they took the wrong
runs. Yeah, and this is very surprising because forwards they've been the same. So Aubameyang was there last season for the second half, and Mkhitaryan and Ozil have been playing since January.
Even Ozil and Ramsey, for example, that one ball where Ramsey is expecting Ozil to take a overlap, and he just passes it outside.
But they're playing against Manchester City,
no,
so you would expect.
So as the chemistry of the team.
Yeah,
itself.
when you as a player, you can see that I'm expecting him to make a particular.
But
run.
Against Man City, probably everyone freezes, and that's why there's no.
No, even when you have time and space on the ball, like. This one, Exhibit A, Ramsey has the ball, Ozil needs to take that overlap, but he's not. And Ramsey expects
He
him, and
went-
without looking, he just passes the ball.
and he went central. So
Yeah, probably it'll take time. And their
yeah,
next
so but
week,
we are like positive for the season.
their next week's
after a very long
opponents
time.
are Chelsea,
Who had a really good game.
who played quite well and beat Huddersfield 3-0. Huddersfield, I think, will get relegated this season.
Yeah, I think they were lucky last season that Stoke and West Brom was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember Mourinho's comment about big horse, small horse? So Huddersfield version of the Wagner version is small puppies, big puppies. But they obviously haven't done anything much in the transfer window, and Chelsea played quite well without Eden Hazard.
Yeah. No, but when Hazard came on in the second half.
Came on in the
Had
second
a
half,
good-
but they had like Willian, Morata,
I
and
think
Pedro.
it was a game controlled by the midfield, so Kante
Yeah, and I made
and-
I made my fantasy picks 1 year too early. I had Kante for the longest time last season, man. And over here in the first, in the first half, 34 minutes into the game, and he scores.
And how does he score? Not even a clean strike.
Oh, man. Very Ozil-esque with the finish.
Yeah, and so Chelsea are up and running. It will not be easy for Arsenal
Yeah,
next
but
week.
I think it'll be a good entertaining match.
Yeah, now with
But I think in talking about entertainment, did you see the Liverpool game?
Oh, man.
yes,
They have hit the ground running.
and that is what I would hope, because that means by October they will start losing points. But actually, they don't even look like that.
Yeah, I think the biggest drawback for Liverpool last season was that they were not very defensively sound, which they addressed with
Virgil van Dijk and Alisson.
and now Alisson. And I think Naby Keita is a big role to play because
He fits so seamlessly in that
and
team.
he was covering the wings. Whenever the wingbacks were pushing forward, he was just slotting in at the wingback position so comfortably.
So, do you expect Liverpool to be
I
the same
expect
old
them-
Liverpool, or actually?
No,
you
I
know,
expect them to be at least 10-12 points off City at the end of the
they
season.
have to make up 25 points to City.
Yeah,
So you expect them to be 12 points behind City?
I expect City to end up around 90 points, not across 100 like last season.
Yeah. So you're like Guardiola. When Guardiola said 100 is
Yeah,
impossible.
I know.
Man, but Liverpool.
Apart from the hair.
Liverpool were leading 3-0 within 50 minutes.
Yeah, and if you saw the match, they were so easily able to get behind the West Ham defense.
But it's
Fabianski made I think 4 or 5 good saves in the first half, point blank saves.
And I think they're really mean also. Did you see how they hit the balls of 2 West Ham players in the same attempt to goal? Like Mark Noble was crying injured and the other guy was just hit. I think
The other guy was Wilshere.
Oh yes. Yes, Wilshere.
But Wilshere didn't make a meal out of it, so. Balls of steel.
No, but I think Liverpool are genuinely contenders for the second spot, because although their rivals for that place had a good start also.
Who?
United
United had a decent start. But what we need to talk more than the game is about #POG feelings.
I thought it was Pog form. Oh,
Pog form was on the game,
Now
and
it's
Pog feelings. I didn't make it up, dude. He put it on Instagram.
but
#Pog feelings.
this was totally a very Mourinho move
Yeah,
to make him captain
Yes.
out of the blue.
I
Suddenly
hate
you're
like
slagging
a
off a player all the time.
Yeah, and he
then
made him
day
the
of the
captain.
match, you make
But
him the captain.
he didn't actually slag him off, but he basically put one line in each interview.
Yeah.
If Manchester Evening News put together an article
with all the lines
with
together.
all the lines.
No, but considering Pogba's ego, that is a slagging off.
Yeah, but as obvious by Pogba, he's actually such a smart cookie. He's also making massive power moves.
Yeah.
Because he knows now is the time.
No, but he had a really good game. He was properly at least.
I was surprised actually
till
with
the 60th minute.
I was surprised with 3 days of training, Pogba could do 81, 82 minutes
Yeah.
of a game. How many can you do, Baru, with 3 days of training?
I can't play then. 3 days of training is too exhausting.
Did you watch the game, Manchester?
It reminds me of school football, back when they'd ask us to do a warm-up run 3 or 4 rounds
Yes.
around the ground.
And then
in your head you're like, why would I become tired before the game? If I spend so much energy warming up, to khelega kaun?
But clearly professional
Pogba.
footballers supposedly do. Did you see Pogba's
Bas wahi reh gaye.
cool run-up to take the goal?
that was funny.
Oh, and talking about #Pog feelings, did you notice what Pep Guardiola told about Benjamin Mendy?
No.
Yeah.
He said Benjamin Mendy is a guy who frustrates me a lot. Sometimes I just want to I don't know what he said exactly, but he said he needs to cut down his social media and everything and focus on the game.
And so that article was posted on Twitter, and Benjamin Mendy replies.
He replies, "Oh, sorry, boss." But what do these managers have against social media?
No, it's about when your social media takes over your concentration or your time.
Yeah,
See, Mendy last season had all the time in the world because of his injury, but now he's gonna take that left back spot to himself.
He already has it. Who is going to challenge him?
And he was man of the match or something, wasn't he?
Yeah,
like at least FPL wise.
Not FPL wise.
15 points.
Not real man of the match. I don't think in the match.
It was either Silva or
Silva didn't
Sterling.
play, dude.
Bernardo
Silva. Oh,
Silva.
sorry.
God, what's wrong with you?
Silva is synonymous with David Silva.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we take a break right now, and then after the break, we talk about the teams which we are going to follow, or which we are already start following. That is Baru,
Wolves,
Kana, Fulham, and Bournemouth. So stay tuned to Football World. See you after the break.
So it's been another great week on IVM Podcast. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Last week, we launched a new podcast called the Kinetic Living Podcast with Urmi Kothari. It's a show about keeping fit both physically and mentally. Listen to our conversation with some of the most interesting people and how they went on their fitness journeys. On Cyrus Says this week, Cyrus speaks to Nihal Mariwala, co-founder of Setu India. They speak about health culture in this country. On Kolaba Cartel, I'm joined by Gauri, Jay, Abhishek, and Sumit, who reveal how they came up with the concept for the new restaurant, Miss T. On Geek Fruit this week, Tejas and Dinkar discuss all things in pop culture that are so bad they're hilariously good. This week on Shunya One, Sheila Ditya speaks to Nitya Sharma from Simple. That's the sign you see every time you have to enter the OTP for your payments on the apps that you use. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma speaks to journalist and China expert Manoj Kevaralmani to dissect China's foreign policy and its impact on India. And with that, let's continue with your show.
Welcome back to Football Portal. The entire gang is here to talk about the game week 1. So Baru, let's start. You have somehow decided to follow Wolves apart from Arsenal this season.
Yeah, so I always thought that, with Jorge practically in charge of the club right now.
It's his guy as a manager.
We should see some really good, players and style of play at least.
Juan Moutinho.
And I was really happy with the way they were playing, man. I mean, Everton were dominating that game.
Yes.
But, that's what it looked like. But Wolves, they really came through, man.
It
with
was
Jimenez and Neves.
It was actually a pretty good game to watch. It wasn't boring at all, even for 1 minute.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's the thing with Wolves and Fulham. They're playing attacking football. They're not playing how you expect promoted teams to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And Fulham need to, right? I mean,
yeah, they have only attacking players.
They've already spent the money they were going to get this season.
Yeah, they already spent. The net spend is I think 98 million.
Yes, they're the second highest. So talking about Wolves again, Richarlison, he already seems worth 50 million to Everton.
Yeah,
I think Everton had a very bad luck in the transfer window last season, but this time
because they bought Rooney.
No, all of the signings failed.
Yeah, they failed for Everton.
Yeah,
if people have been watching Twitter, Rooney plays quite well if he does not play for Everton. He defends.
What a pass, man.
Or move that was.
Beckham-esque.
Apart from the pass, that tackle. And I don't still understand why was Rooney the last man on a corner in the 93rd minute.
Because he's the shortest, right? So it started on a corner. He can't do a header because Rooney is the...
No, he wasn't last man. He covered that ground.
No, he was
the last. And that's
he was in the D, expecting a ball out or a slight clearance at the edge of the box.
Yeah.
But the minute shit hit the fan, he just chased that ball down. We've seen him he is a really good sprinter, right? I remember that goal against Arsenal where he and I think Ronaldo
I think
caught.
This is the whole thing. This is the whole thing I'm talking about. You can't take Rooney out of Everton.
You can't.
We want to talk about Everton and Wolves, and what we end up talking about is Wayne Rooney.
I think with Richarlison in particular, they've gotten him back with Silva.
Yes.
So that was a combination which worked in the first half of the season last year.
Oh man, Jagielka, why did he have to go ahead and get that red card?
I think Everton would have easily won 3-0 or something.
If Jagielka did not get the red card, and Wolves came back, and they actually played quite well, and the free kick obviously.
What a free kick, man.
Amazing. So you think Wolves will do better than... Oh, let's go incremental questions. You think Wolves will do better than Huddersfield this season?
Definitely.
And you think they will... I mean, you can't talk
I think, at least from the first game, even though we're not supposed to be making predictions from here. But I see them like finishing around like 12, 13 or something.
You think
They do have it in them, that quality
Yeah.
to beat the lower half of the table.
You think Jorge Mendes will give post-match interviews anytime soon?
He'll text it to his manager who will read it out or something.
And talking about Fulham ka now.
Yeah, not the result I expected. I think not the result a lot of people expected against Crystal Palace. And even from the game, you could see that Fulham had more of the ball, more of the chances.
Mitrovic had
a couple of really good chances, but it's just Hennessy had like the former's life.
Yes.
I think one person in our FPL group had expected Crystal Palace to defeat Fulham, which was Anustup. He had 3 Crystal Palace players. He had Zaha and those 2 Van defenders.
Van Aanholt and Van Bissaka.
How do you predict that? And both of them got 11, 10 points.
Yeah,
and Zaha got a goal.
We'll talk about that in the next episode. We will.
Just keeping a cookie out there. So that people listen to the next one.
So I think this is a good time to put it out
but
there.
But again, with Fulham, the fact was, 6 players with playing their first games for the club. So it is obviously going to take some time for them to gel in.
Yes.
And, people like Chambers and Sergio Rico joined just last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
it'll
Fulham
take 2-3 weeks at least.
Yeah, but easily like a top 10, top 12 team for me, Fulham.
And talking of Bournemouth, it just seems like Eddie Howe is now the longest serving Premier League manager.
Yeah, I think he's
and that stability of that club, it just seemed like a regular win. No big fuss about it.
And Bournemouth doesn't even seem like a newly promoted club now. They seem like a part of the Premier League.
Yeah, unlike probably what we think of Huddersfield, Newcastle. Even Burnley gives that feeling.
Yeah,
कि कुछ भी हो सकता है. But Bournemouth, it was an easy win. I just wanted Josh King to score, which obviously he didn't, which is kind of pissing off.
But Charlie Daniels was there, so
yes,
that man is a legend.
In my substitutes.
Charlie Daniels got a yellow card.
No, he got an assist also.
Yeah, he got an assist as well. So I think Bournemouth will again finish in. But there's so many teams which have enough squads to finish in like that.
Yeah,
between 8th and 12th, 13th. That probably a good team will go down again.
It's going to be not a good team as such, but I think Newcastle with their lack of spending probably might be in trouble.
Man, talking of Newcastle, how did Tottenham's second goal or the first goal, which was the offside one?
That was the second goal.
How was that even given?
No idea.
Tottenham.
In the first goal, they got
even Liverpool.
Liverpool's third goal
but Liverpool
offside.
we knew will win. Tottenham none of us like. So
and Tottenham even like with the first goal, they had the benefit of goal line technology.
So that's good, no?
Yeah, that is good.
How is that bad for them?
It's bad for us.
Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah, but they would have given that their Tottenham, they would have been given. Newcastle actually played alright in that game. They at least deserved a draw. I was so sad when Tottenham won that 2-1.
Yeah, I think they did hit the crossbar a couple of times.
Twice in the second half.
So if you take that into account, Newcastle should have won the game 3-2.
Yeah, we should just declare post as the goal.
XG.
There is the Times newspaper in London is basically counting down every week based on XG. They have a table going on.
Okay.
It is so funny, dude.
I think if you go based on XG, Liverpool will win easily.
Liverpool, as of now, is one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Manchester City will.
No, but see, Manchester City is more efficient in their chance conversion. Liverpool with
they
have
create
all
more
of these,
chances.
all of these mercurial players as such.
Like Henderson, James Milner.
I'm not talking about the Liverpool.
Why
bench,
did James Milner have that headgear again? Why does he keep getting injured? And why does Liverpool keep getting players who keep getting injured on their head? They had Martin Skirtle. I've never not seen him without a band-aid on his head.
Yeah, and for some time, I think even Joe Allen once had a head injury.
Yeah, so what's up with Liverpool and getting all these head injuries?
I think right now it's just Klopp just makes them,
So that at least someone stands out.
Klopp takes headbanging seriously.
Yeah. Did you see Azim Banatwala's tweet on Liverpool Klopp singing if Nabil Fekir to Nabil Fekir?
No.
He said, अगर तुम मिल जाओ ललाना छोड़ देंगे हम.
So bad. Okay.
No, but we had like a good week of entertaining football.
Did we? Yeah. I mean, it was actually quite fun.
When you get a penalty in the 3rd minute of the new season, that's obviously a good start.
Man, we had to talk about Roma's social media. What's up with those guys? penalty to Manchester United. Roma is like, oh, looks like Premier League has started.
And even Bayer Leverkusen got in
both of them
on the action.
I think the best thing that Roma has done is, when
got onto Twitter.
No, that is after the Malcolm deal fell through.
Yes.
And then Roma had to play Barcelona in the ICC.
Correct.
Yeah, so that day they just put out a tweet saying that we have blocked Malcolm from our
any mention of Malcolm in the middle, anything.
Man, we need to get that social media team which manages Roma.
Do you think the English media would be able to handle it?
No, I said we.
Oh,
we need to get them.
Still, do you think the English media would be able to handle us?
Because I remember, all the hue and cry over that Ozil teacup tweet.
Yeah, they got so pissed off.
But the same guys are so happy with Roma's social media. Like,
I know, because they don't make
it's not
directed at
the press.
At Daily Mail.
Yeah. So what are the other results of the weekend? There was a 0-0, a Southampton game for sure. Southampton Burnley, that was 0-0.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even bother watching it. Liverpool was going on then, I think.
I think we've covered everyone. Watford, Brighton.
Watford again.
Roberto Pereira got 2 goals.
Yes. Was Roberto Pereira, is he a new signing?
No, he was there last season.
What he didn't do anything for me last season.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You didn't have it in your team probably.
So who's leading the table right now?
Liverpool.
And who's second? The Champions League spots. Who have taken the Champions?
Chelsea is second, Bournemouth is third, and Crystal Palace in fourth.
How early is it to start talking about, is this a dream coming true? Is Bournemouth going to be in Champions League?
No, but see, Burnley did it last season, right?
They're in Europa.
And they qualified for the next round.
Yeah,
also.
but I'm asking how soon is it? Like, when do we start this whole...
I think around 7-8...
yesterday.
Man, you guys are so patient. There are rumours already that Claude Puel will be sacked as Leicester manager because they didn't play well in one game. And he has 2 games to save his life. Just 2. So now we've reached a level where there are 3 games required for anyone to basically save their lives in Premier League as a manager.
Let's preempt that and already decide who's going to get relegated.
Mourinho. Oh, no, I thought we were talking about getting sacked.
So currently it's Fulham, Huddersfield and West Ham in the bottom 3. But I think West Ham and Fulham are obviously not going to stay there. So probably, Huddersfield,
Cardiff, I think they will.
Yeah, Cardiff again, not a lot of signings going on.
Yeah, and there's nothing interesting to
follow
there.
And I think the third one probably would be between Newcastle and Brighton.
I think Newcastle might still stay, man.
Because of Benitez.
Probably Southampton was so boring, dude. I mean, I think it's time for Southampton to go back.
Liverpool has taken all of their players now.
But they've given one back. Danny Ings is gone there, right?
Yeah, so now Lallana will go back.
ये भी आप ले लो.
घर वापसी.
Chamberlain आपके पास था. Oh shit. Chamberlain तो आपका ही था.
This is the real घर वापसी. Was Callum Chambers also part?
I think that is the next step from Fulham to Southampton.
What?
Fulham to Southampton?
For Chambers.
Huh. So, but at what point will he go to Southampton?
But he need to
when
win
his
Liverpool
career is not headed anywhere.
Oh, Callum Chambers will go to Liverpool and then go to Southampton.
Yeah.
And Oxlade. Oh, where will Oxlade Chamberlain play now that there's Naby Keita?
He's out for the season.
Season? No, he's out till December, right?
No, he's
out, more or less
out
the season. That's what Klopp said.
He's out till March, yeah.
That's what Klopp said.
Oh, Klopp, these managers lie so much, dude. I saw a photo of Mahrez in crutches. How was he even playing the first game? I would have taken him in my fantasy
Not
team.
even on the bench. He was starting.
He was starting. And they're like, Mahrez out for long. Look at him limping in crutches and everything.
These non-Arsenal players, they just don't get injured. Look at us. We just started and we're already 3 down.
3 left backs down.
3 left backs down. That is so sad.
Yeah, so that happened.
Table
the
for
thing
injuries.
With Arsenal, yeah.
And Arsenal tops that table?
No, obviously. No, but the thing is that when Arsenal get injuries, they get injuries to players in the same position. And it has happened a few times before also.
So you can't even talk about squad depth.
Just that play.
Because your first choice and second choice are also out with your...
And third choice get injured in the reserves match.
Exactly.
Anyway, that was the first game week. The second game week, obviously, the biggest game is Arsenal versus Chelsea, which I think is quite important for Arsenal to at least get a point.
And they will.
let's not keep too high hopes on this. And yeah, that's it for Football Twaddle. As you guys know now that from this season onwards, we have a special show on the Fantasy Premier League, which comes out every Thursday. So please make sure that you listen to that and subscribe, or at least rate us on iTunes for everything. You can follow us on Twitter at @FootyTwaddle, Instagram and Facebook Football Twaddle. And on that note, Baru,
Ta-ta.
Kanav,
Have a good week, guys.
this is Saru signing off from Football Twaddle.
Hello, I'm Chuck.
I'm Shriketh.
And I'm Naren.
And together we are the hosts of the podcast
Simplified.
And we are going to be doing a 100th episode,
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
which is going to be a live episode at Dulali in Khar in Mumbai on the 25th of August 2018.
Yes, we should get the year right.
So we're going to be doing a lot of fun things at the show. We are going to be talking about some stuff, simplifying them. We're going to have a very erudite guest who's going to hopefully make up for our silliness, but we sincerely doubt it.
And there's definitely going to be a lot of beer, so we really hope you join us.
It'll be fun, and it'll be more fun if you guys are there. So do land up.
See you. Bye-bye.
Some time ago, 5 successful restaurateurs came together to form the Colaba Cartel. The founders of the table, Gauri Devi Dayal and Jay Yusuf, partnered with the founders of Woodside Inn, Abhishek Honawar, Pankil Shah, and Sumit Gambhir to open a new restaurant in Colaba. If you've ever dreamed of opening a restaurant or love eating out, you want to listen in. The Colaba Cartel. This exclusive 10-part series is hosted by Gauri Devi Dayal and Amit Doshi. Catch new episodes of the Colaba Cartel every Monday and Thursday on the IVM Podcasts app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.